What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky custom review, we're going to be taking a look at the last part of my custom ball type S and cup combat utility pod, and it's one add-on and a couple of upgrades that I got. So the other day, being yesterday for me, I actually managed to get a hold of this set of hands from the Build Customs or Build Divers or Build whatever set. And it's the same ones that are actually advertised in the building of the mobile Haro. So on here, currently, I have a fisted hand and a holding hand painted up the same way. Now this is in fact the same back of the hand that I used before. It does work on these new type of hands. This is not the same fist that we had before. These are actually rounded over fingers, which I figured made more sense for this guy. Though if you want to see the comparison, let me find that one. Here's the original, and you can see much more blocky fingers and also the kind of plate here and just a standard ball joint. And I have both of those original fists and hands here. Whereas on the new ones, you can see it's a bit more rounded over, more Xeon looking hands, and that's just because I like the rounded fingers. I could have bought the squared off ones, but one thing that's really neat as a show off with the right fisted hand here, it's having a hard time focusing because it's shiny. You do get a wrist. You get a wrist movement. Now, I left it so that I could pull off the backs of the hands, but only for the originals. Now, whenever you get these out of the box, this back area right here is actually much higher, and it does come with its own backs of the hands. I wanted to use the same ones, so I just trimmed that down a little bit, and then the rest of it fits exactly the way it should. Now, I also have some expressive fingers, which I love. These are awesome. I'm going to hold them back this far. Like so. And you do get the wrist peg that moves. Every single one of them does come with that. And that's the same old school back of the hand. Now I'll show the left-fisted hand. That's the difference in the backs. And so they're technically mirrored to the way they should be. But it is what it is. One thing I guess I could do if I wanted to modify these a little bit further, give myself some more room to work, I could cut the back of that out to match. I'll look into that. Something I had not considered at this point. Now, before we go too much further, I do have a full build log that will be going live tomorrow on Saturday for the whole thing, except for the ball. So the body here, it's only about, not complete because frankly I didn't film the whole thing. You'll see that. But then it's the complete build log for the custom weapon I've made for this thing, as you've seen in the teaser and the thumbnail. We have what I call the Harodama, and utilizing the utilizing the stand for the ball to actually prop it up. It's just a thing. I could probably finesse it a little bit more, but just go ahead and pull this off. Stand out of the way. I do want to find a way to actually make this into a stand so that I can actually use it for that. But here we go. And raise the camera back up. What you guys will notice, it's a hammer. But it's more than a hammer because, as the name implies, as Dama, not the Japanese version of the word Dama, which would be closer to like bomb, such as Genki Dama from Spirit Bomb, it's a Kendama. You have the Haro on the chain on the spike here, and you can do that. Now, you're probably not going to be able to actually like do the whole thing where you catch it on the spike or whatnot, as the toy would indicate. And if you've never seen a kendama, I'll pull one up here on the screen so you can see what I'm working with. Kind of move him out of the way. Camera wanted to focus on him. But as it goes for the build log, you'll see exactly what I did here. And let me know. I'm going to hold it up right now. And you guys guess what parts I used to make this. Nobody seemed to fully guess yet. A couple people have been close. But of course, you'll see in the build log a couple of the things I used. But yeah, so I've got tiny silver Haro up on top with some red painted eyes. Might be a little hard to focus on. There we go. Because I'm out of the light here, technically. Hold on. There we go. That's a bit better. It's hell trying to film small things. So you've got the little Haro there, painted silver, red eyes. You got the white kind of thruster cups or hammer ends with the red and the silver on the inside. You've got some stickers that are from all sorts of different things. This white one going around here has been giving me problems ever since I put it on there. That's actually kind of a custom sticker. It's not one that actually is from a thing. It's left over and recycled. Multiple different colors here. You got some gunship gray, you've got some matte black, you've got the matte white, and you've got the gunmetal. So I wanted to make sure it matched. And because I wanted to tie in the theme of the gun itself, or the weapon itself, to the weapons it already had, the handle here is painted silver, and you've got this here. Similarly to how the guns are painted, I even have the warning stripe around the bottom, just to make everything tie together. Now on top of that, I had a little bit of a backpack holster here that got some silver paint on it somehow. I don't even know where that happened. At one point I had a silver overspray on my fingers and I didn't notice, and I started handling things. So that might have been what happened. But can just slide it right in there. And you've got some perfect backpack storage. Because you guys know I love weapon storage. I will say this, while I was shooting pictures and thumbnails and stuff for this and going into certain poses, this arm broke loose again, although I managed to put it back into place and it's holding, but I don't know if under any kind of more pressure if it'll do more. I was actually manipulating it and stuff like that, and I think that just the glue, because like I said before in the review, that it's not the tightest, most flush fit, so the bare minimum of what's touching sometimes doesn't like to hold. Much like I have to bend the knees just a certain way to get him to stand properly here. Now I've got a little bit more weight on the backpack. Now you can put on the extra hands and such, so if I want to swatch out for this hand, these are the large hands, by the way. They come with different sizes. They come with small, medium, and large. And you can pick between them. I went for the large hands because they were roughly the same size. However, the ball joint is not. It's actually a bit bigger. So it's a much, much tighter fit, and actually all the paint has essentially rubbed off, which ends up being good because it's a super stiff joint, but it's almost too stiff and very scary to remove. But luckily this thing is a very robust kit, so we can actually give him some nice expressive fingers, and now he can even do a proper high teacher like so. I do love the fact that his shoulder is just kind of infinitely open, so he can just do whatever, or have him salute. That wrist is pretty useful. And of course we have the weapon holding hand, which is pretty much universal for anything of this size. Because all of the hands have the same size hold despite the hands being different sizes. Now you can plop that in there. You can hold it in the round section just fine. It doesn't spin or anything. Or you can hold it around the square section if you really want to hold it up. And in fact, I use this as kind of one of the thumbnails. And of course you can pull it down a bit. Now he does have two different flat sections there, but the handhold is so tight you can't get to the second one. So it just kind of, he holds it just fine, just like that. And he is a big, sexy Haro with this custom Harodama, or I'm sorry, he's a ball with a custom Harodama hammer. Oh, don't do that, please. Yep, that knocked out a bit more loose. We'll have to reapply some glue onto that guy. because it's just going to want to keep coming off. I'll probably have to sand some paint too, but that's the unfortunate thing about customs. Sometimes they don't necessarily work the way you want them to. Sometimes they just get really, really finagly, but this weapon is pretty awesome. The thrusters are actually removable, so to speak, and they're on ball joints, so I can actually take it off of there. This one is a bit looser. I might have to add a little bit more paint to it. I think I may have over sanded it, priming for paint. The backside is actually very tight, and including where I glued in the chain and stuff like that, it ends up being very robust and actually holds on very nicely. Because I thought about having different sizes of these. Like this is the smallest and the biggest, but there's an in-between, I guess. I mean, it probably wouldn't be super noticeable, but it is what it is. And just revisiting the standard one, I could give him some of the same hands. I guess in theory, if I wanted to, I could rob those back set of hands for other things if I wanted to. Just paint them white. Though I don't have any more stickers. I'm all out of Gundam local types to rob stickers from. But I'm kind of working on another idea here involving this hammer and these two, along with a whole bunch of other stuff that I was thinking about doing. It'll probably be post-contest and all that because it'll take some time for me to put together. But I will definitely show that off if I start going down that route creatively. But guys, that's the final episode of this kind of trilogy, going into the ball type S and the combat utility pod as it is. So, and also the reason why that's kendama is it's a joke, because that's a ball and cup toy, and this is a ball and a cup. So there you go. I enjoy some good puns. And if Harodama means something strange in Japanese, by all means, sorry. That's just, I'm going for the very particular name of what it is. But guys, if you like this fun thing, and if you want to try to build something like this on your own, by all means, do it. It's fun. It only took me an afternoon really to build and paint and everything else like that. Once I had the concept down. And then you'll see in the build log how I ran through different ideas and how I started out one way and ended up with this beauty, even swapping color schemes at one point. But guys, also, I want to see people build the ball and cup. I want to see your own versions of it if you're going to custom paint it. Even Thomas Rice, with his custom ball that he's done, will be doing one down the line. He already ordered his Mowaharo, so we'll look forward to that. Spoilers on his side, if you didn't want anybody to know, sorry buddy. But so we will have some cool ball and cups down the line. I want to put them on display at Hobbytown actually. But like I said, subscribe, all the things. Balls for Balls contest running out of time at this point, running down to the end. Want to see some more submissions, some more entries. I still only have a handful at this point, and I know you guys are doing some awesome work. And I really wish I'd come up with this much earlier than I did, or actually got to work on it much earlier, so I could have been inspiring you guys to build stuff like this for the contest, in time for the contest. So I'll catch you guys on Master Grade Monday, where we go over the MG Ball K. And yeah. I'll see you then, and make sure you stick around tomorrow for the build log and see how I did it. It's a long one, so stick around, and if you're really interested to see how I customize this thing. And I'll talk to you guys later. Remember, as always, to keep on building.